And to discuss more, we are joined by Dr. Malcolm Davis. He's a senior analyst and defense strategy and capability at Australian Strategic Policy Institute. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, Dr. Davis. So let me begin by saying that now the Trump administration has decided to review the AUKUS submarine pact with Australia. What's going on here? And with Anthony Albanese about to meet Trump in just a few days, how do you see this review shaping their conversation?
Look, I think from the American side, the key concern is their own submarine production capacity and whether they will have sufficient submarines to be able to deter and, if necessary, defeat a threat from China at the same time, and potentially as many. I think that they recognise the advantages of continuing the AUKUS pact, and I think both in terms of Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, all three states gain a great deal in terms of defence cooperation, strategic cooperation and technology sharing. From the Australian perspective, obviously we're concerned about the submarine delivery timetable and whether the submarines might be delayed. We're not so concerned about Trump withdrawing completely from AUKUS, but I think we are concerned about the potential for a delay in the delivery of those Virginia-class submarines.
Right, Dr. Davis, and the AUKUS deal was considered one of Biden administration's biggest foreign policy wins. And if this review leads to cuts or changes, as many are expecting, what kind of message does that send? And what could the fallout be like?
Look, I think if the Trump administration at this point tried to renegotiate the deal or delay it or scale it back, I think that would be a very bad signal. It would completely undermine trust and confidence in the Trump administration by both, not just Australia, but also the United Kingdom as well. It would also throw into disarray the complete schedule of what's known as the optimal pathway, whereby we acquire the Virginia-class SSNs and then move forward to SSN AUKUS in the 2040s. That would be thrown into absolute disarray, and I think that it would be very difficult to recover from that. And I think also, in terms of Pillar 2, it would undermine any sense of cooperation. So I think it would be an own goal by the Americans to actually delay or cancel AUKUS. And I think that Elbridge Colby understands this. I know him personally. He's an intelligent guy. He's not going to do something that would actually be counterproductive to America's interests.
Definitely, Dr. Davis, and if the negotiations actually go that way and if you're seeing at cancellations, it might actually be catastrophic. But having said that, is this review a sign that US priorities are perhaps undergoing a paradigm shift under Trump 2.0? And what does that tell us about the plans to approach alliances moving forward?
Well, look, I think that from the US perspective, their priority is confronting the challenge posed by a rising China. And so in that sense, AUKUS does actually matter, because AUKUS is about not just the nuclear-powered submarines, but it's also about Pillar 2 with the technology cooperation, in part to actually deter China from using military force for territorial expansion. And so I think that really, from the American perspective, from their own interests and agendas, it makes sense to continue with AUKUS. But the key issue is their submarine production capacity. Will it be sufficient in order to provide those Virginia-class submarines on time? We were supposed to get the first of the Virginias in 2033. Obviously, we need to see whether that's actually going to happen.
Absolutely, Dr. Davis. We'll have to wait and see how the negotiations pan out and what the outcome would be, and especially after the subsequent talks between Anthony Albanese and Trump. But for now, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you.